not necessarily tribal or regional.
All right, thank you for staying with us. If you are just joining, you're watching Daybreak, reaching you live from the nation's capital right here on Trust Television. So quite a lot of issues on the news this morning. While we wait for our reviewer to join us, some other issues here are worth mentioning as we proceed. I mean, we have seen that over 400 and about 444 persons have been enlisted for the national honors, and a lot of names really on that national honors awards, and a lot of tongues are wagging already about the
absence of certain names too.
Yes, the absence of some names, and then the presence of some names. People are thinking, okay, these people that we have, are they deserving of some of the awards, that they have been given and all of that?
Yes. Prominent among the names that are missing is the name of the former Senate president. Because on this list is the name of the current Senate president and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And then the Speaker of the House of Representatives in the 8th Assembly, Yakubu Dogara, his name is there, but yes, the Senate president in the 8th Assembly, his name is absent, Bukola Saraki.
So part of the arguments or the allegations or the arguments that people are putting forward is the fact that, okay, is this about party crooners, or I would say friends and families of the party in government and all of that, Okay. So these are some of the reactions that we have seen, including 7 foreigners also on that list. So it's quite an interesting one. The Chief of Staff to the President is one of them.
The late Chief of Staff.
Late Chief of Staff.
His name is there.
Yes. And then we have Mamman Daura, Okonjo-Iweala, Amina Mohammed, of the United Nations, and many of them former boss of the TED Fund. Suleiman Bogoro.
And I don't know if you noticed, there's a lot of people, families and friends are all over themselves trying to celebrate the awardees this time. I don't know, in the past, was it always like that?
Well, I think it's always been like that. Maybe this time around it's more pronounced.
This time around,
because of perhaps social media. And then, of course,
friends
everyone wants to register.
Are doing themselves and putting out advertorials, celebrating the awardees.
Yes.
So
perhaps it's what part of what democracy, is now giving us.
Okay.
And people are now more interested and all that. But let's getting our guest reviewer, Zainab Okinu, the chairperson of the editorial board Blueprint newspaper, to give us some perspectives on some of the stories this morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, first, before we proceed, let's get your take on the list of awardees for the national honors, as we have seen released by the government, the federal government.
Good morning once again. I don't know that I got very well, but if you are talking about the national awards taking place today, yes, there have been that's always normal. You expect everybody to like every name that is there, but the people that are worried or talking is the staff of the president that are included in. So, well, okay, they are Nigerians. For us, whether they deserve to get their awards or not is a different thing entirely. But I would expect a young man of 31 years, so to say, who you won't say has achieved so much in life, shouldn't be one of it. I'm talking about Sabiu, one of the ZSAs to the president. So who was that will be given the award today? It's another domestic staff, so to say, to the president who will also get the award today. And to think that a former Senate president and a former speaker, what is it got to that? Were left out is appalling, and speak well of the committee that did the nomination. So, but like what former minister and a present governor of Kaduna State, the present governor of Kaduna State, Nasir said, was accused of giving lands to his relations. He said they are Nigerians. So it's that, and it could be anybody's, but this is national, something that should be given gratis, even though people are not paying for it. The payment for it should be the fact that you have some achievements, you have a name recognition, you've done something for this country, if you attain a certain position in this country, to make the committee point at you take this as a appreciation from the government of Nigeria. But it's done. So,
all right.
I only say what we have to say. Do what they have to do.
All right. Okay, so let's get more perspectives on some of the stories. This morning, Kogi State is in the news for various reasons. We have the Lokoja flood situation. We have the Obajana impasse between the Dangote and the Kogi State government, and also the Kogi State Assembly that was gutted by fire and all that. I want you to talk about this, but let's pick them one after the other. The flood situation is causing a lot of problems. You know, now it's beyond just Kogi State. We are experiencing fuel queues in the Federal Capital Territory that has been attributed to the gridlock in Lokoja, you know, and all that. So, but I'm wondering whether we are giving it the needed attention, in terms of the national, treating it as a national disaster, so to say, because it appears that it has gone beyond a state matter. Hello?
Water states, but the important that there will be no connection between the north and the south. So, and Kogi, there are about 10 states that are connected to Kogi State. So, it means that whatever happens in state almost will affect all over the country, and in particular the northern states. So, the flood is an unfortunate thing that has happened, but that's why this is a natural disaster. But a serious nation will always prepare for a day like this. Remember, we talked about the dredging of the River Niger and possibly the channelization of some of the other small rivers. So the fact that those things have not taken place, the dredging, the channelization, the opening up of the rivers is there. The effect of that is what we are seeing to.
Oh. All right, we seem to have lost audio.
Control over from the south to the north. So, but the fact that that road is blocked now has made it almost possible for those of us in Abuja and the far north to get petrol. So, and that's why we are filling stations are. Hello?
Haja.
Hello?
Haja, the incident in Kogi State happened, what is happening, and it's about the same thing that happened in 2012, albeit this is a bit more than that. Why is the impact this much, considering that it has happened before? Weren't you hoping that, okay, if it were to happen again, 10 years down, it will be, the impact wouldn't be so much because nobody will say it's a surprise any longer.
So which of the incidents are you talking about? The flood?
The flood.
Hello?
The flood.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's for 2013, 2012. It's almost on a yearly basis that when the last dam in Cameroon is opened, the effects come around 2013 was so serious that it consumed a lot of villages and lives were lost. So, but we don't ever seem prepared. And then the question you ask is, where is our economic fund going to? Just, I'm not saying this because of Kogi alone. It's like a politicians, I'm sorry to say, but we do know that there's ecological fund and the ecological fund is not properly utilized. It may not be about Kogi State alone. The federal government is custodian of that ecological fund and it gives it to it. That's the question we should be asking now. This thing, why does it seem that we are never prepared? So the in charge of this have questions to answer. But as it is with all other cases in Nigeria, nothing will be done, lives will be lost. All this delay, the problems we're having now will eventually go away, and everybody goes back. It's business as usual. Very, very unfortunate that we are in this mess. But the fact that just to give people that it is around probably will make the federal government take it seriously.
You know, Haja, we always talk about this Lado Dam in Cameroon and all that. And the question I've been asking is whether or not we've had any kind of correspondence between Nigeria and Cameroon in that respect. And then what has been done, you know, to avert future occurrences, since this is not the first time that this is happening. So shouldn't there be some kind of discussion as regards that?
I think there was some written agreement about what Nigeria should do each time Lagdo Dam has to be opened. But I don't know the details of it, but I think we are not doing the aspect that concerns Nigeria, and that's why we cannot hold them responsible. Ordinarily, you will say this is a criminal offense for you to open your dam and then upon us and to consume us. But the fact we have not been able to do anything about it shows that there was some form of agreement. I read it that there was some form of agreement which Nigeria has not its own part. Has you respect.
Haja,
yes,
our
please.
governments were supposed to build buffer dams. After the 2012 incident, they were supposed to build buffer dams to absorb the water that comes from Lagdo Dam. Why?
Yes.
Why was nothing done about that?
Maybe.
Or in your view, why
I should also ask why. We should all be asking these questions. Maybe someday there will be some answer. We're supposed to build some other dams, as you mentioned. Why haven't we built our own dams? Maybe the money is diverted, embezzled, whatever. I really don't know. But I think it has got to a stage where everybody should rise up against the federal government and expect and tell them to do what is right. These dams have to be built because it is now a national emergency and it's affecting everybody.
All right, so let's move on to the other issues. The Obajana impasse between the state government and Dangote Cement. We are saying that the presidency is wading into the matter. I mean, should this be happening now at this time around? I mean, that factory has been there for years.
Yes, another very unfortunate incident affecting Kogi State. Okay, let's take it from the beginning. Some form of agreement must have taken place. And Dangote, I do not see how Dangote, the richest man in Africa, would just jump a state without some form of agreement. Some form of agreement must have taken place. The question now is that who's holding who to ransom? Is it the Kogi state government that is holding the Dangote to ransom, or whatever happened, whatever might have been, even if the government is and that is, they have their own issues. What's even appalling at this moment, what's so tragic about the whole thing is that a cement factory of that nature, providing jobs for a lot of people, is temporarily closed down because of the ego trip war between the two of them, the two organizations, the state and the cement factory. Whatever it is, we want these issues resolved. And if tax are involved, the federal government has to come in, and we should know who should collect this tax, whether it's the state government or the federal government. Above all, the most important thing is the amicable solution of this issue so that it does not escalate. A situation where I know Dangote has these companies where, including Africa, Zambia, and co. Why no issue? It's still because of the inherent problems of Nigeria, whereby it's never done properly. But for the state government to know where these books are kept, and for them to also produce the agreement he must have had with the state government. The ownership should not be an issue. If it is on percentage basis, we should know what Kogi State is owing, or what the percentage of that of the industry. So it shows that we have institutional problems. Things don't go well in Nigeria as they go in other countries. Then coming to the fire incident, I think also two heads of the Commissioner of Information in Kogi State to accuse Dangote industry of being, it was too hasty. There's no investigation has taken place. So that's what we should do at this stage. But we know that normally happens in Nigeria. When there are controversies over some issues, the next thing you hear of is a fire incident, which must be out in documents, and that ends the case. So I hope this will not end. Nigerians are watching, and Kogi people also be interested in what actually caused that. It's not, it doesn't add up at all. It doesn't add up. Something is wrong somewhere.
All right, Hajia, away from Kogi State now, let's look at the ASU issue. It appears we're about to see light at the end of the tunnel after all. And this is coming after the House of Representatives intervened. And some persons are saying maybe this intervention should have come a lot earlier, because when the president of ASU was speaking yesterday, he said that in a day or two, this strike could be called off. And he said that if the engagements they had been having with others had been the way the one with the House of Representatives went, this strike wouldn't have lingered till this point.
No, I do not think it's just because of the House of Reps Speaker's intervention. Remember that the Speaker's intervention this time around came about after the court decision. With the court decision, there was not much room left for us to do. But the negotiation between the negotiation between the Speaker and ASU, the Speaker has always tried. But when this court decision took place that has compelled ASU to go back to classes, I had to come in again just to save the day. So no, I mean, ASU have no choice to obey because they have to. The Speaker may mean to save their face. I don't. Let me put it crude. Well, it's okay that it has come to this, and what the most important thing is for our children to And hopefully in the next few days, the strike will be called off. And then our children will go back to school. And I tell you what take away for us, because with what the president said the other day, that it will not agree to pay for something that it does not have money for. It means they also a dead end, unfortunately for them. But it can't end this way. The negotiation will continue, and then hopefully they will get something out of it. But for now, they have no choice than to.
All right. So, okay. So yesterday we saw the flagging of a campaign for the People's Democratic Party in Uyo. Hello, can you hear me? Yes.
What's the question now?
Yes, yeah, I'm talking about the People's Democratic Party takeoff of campaigns in Uyo yesterday, Akwa Ibom State, where the presidential candidate, was making a lot of promises. It was like an oath taking between him and his supporters. Yesterday, where he made, he swearing and, also asking the supporters to indicate and to promise him that they are going to vote PDP in the next election in 2023. But we have seen that some governors of the party were absent. I mean, that's not surprising given the fact that they have constantly shown their lack of support, as long as, the conditions to settle the impasse within the PDP has not been met, which is the removal of the national chairman of the party, Yocha Ayu. So it looks like PDP is saying, look, we have tarried this long and it doesn't look like we are able to deal with this crisis. We have to just move on. What's your take?
And that's what they did yesterday, with or without the 5 Trans governors. So the fact that those governors have not moved to any other party shows that there's still room for reconciliation in the party. So they had to do what they had yesterday without those governors. But the larger question is the message that came across to the general public, the campaign issues that they brought up yesterday did not resonate with Nigerians very well. Because it's an old song. The same platitudes, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do that. An opposition party needs to do more than a party in government to convince the people on why it should be the alternative to the party in government. I didn't see that yesterday. It's the old issue of I'll do this, I'll do that. Nigerians are tired of that because in most cases they don't do anything. I think the message is not impactful enough. I mean, if I were in opposition and in opposition to this government, there's so many things, there's so many campaign issues that I can bring up. And we didn't see much of that yesterday. So they need to go back to the drawing table and think about those selling points about changing the change that, and when the president was speaking yesterday, the only time I saw some ovation was when he mentioned our children are out of school. These are the points. So if they can bring some of those points out of normally, some of those things that are not going on well with the current government, it may be able to come back. But as the party is struggling, to convince Nigerians why it should be an alternative to the party in government that has probably failed a lot of people.
All right.
So I do hope that they get it right. But by and large, if crowd is anything, to go back, they had it. They got it yesterday.
All right. All right, thank you so much. Unfortunately, because of time, we have to move on. If time had permitted, I would have asked you about your take on the APC Women Wing campaign team that was unveiled yesterday too. But I mean, we have to move on. Thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak and sharing your perspectives with us right here on the program. All right, that's our guest reviewer, Zainab Okinu, chairperson, editorial board of the Blueprint newspaper. With that, we'll take a short breather, and then when we return, the show will continue. Please stay with us.
But in a situation where you find that look at this,
not necessarily tribal or regional.
I have said that